This is a true story. I need a guitar and I need money to buy one. So I end up getting a check from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, of a back tax, whatever.
That you probably never ever know nothing about.
I said, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went and took that. First thing I did with that $200, I ready to go buy a phone. First thing I did, I said, yo, time to get the phone now. I'm lit.
Yeah. What up, peeps? Welcome to another episode of Next Friday. Now this week, our special guest, Mr. JelaniAswad.
Yeah, man.
Should I say Minister Aswad?
Minister Aswad. That's fine. It's not on my birth certificate, but that's fine.
Yes, Jelani, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, viewers, Jelani is also a musician and an artist. So, everything wrapped up in one.
Yeah.
Delivering good music, good message to the masses. Jelani, tell us a little about yourself though. Who is Jelani?
Who is Jelani? Well, small little fun fact for people out there watching. I grew up my father's a Rasta, and I grew up in understanding African culture, and we all had names that had a lot of meaning. So my actual name, legal, is JelaniAswad Nkosi. It's a mixture of Swahili and Arabic. And the name actually means mighty black king, if you translate it. So just a fun fact for everybody, just so you have that information. Not a lot of people know that, but it's out there. So now you officially know.
Right.
But I grew up with, a home. My parents are from Jamaica. My mom was actually born in England and raised in Jamaica in the Kingston area. And my father is from Jamaica, born and raised. And grew up in the Bronx.
Right.
And really didn't pick up music until we moved a little bit northwest of the Bronx and in church, just like many musicians picked up music. Yeah, a lot of us,
in church on the choir.
Yes, exactly. Got my first start doing choir. Actually, the first piece that I ever sang a solo in was Sister Act 2, Joyful, joyful Lord. That part there. So I couldn't hit the high note like that young man, but that's when I got the bug, and we did a kind of nationwide competition and started doing music then. And I started really rapping in high school a little bit after that.
Right.
And so I couldn't really pick a genre, pick a style that I was comfortable with. I just figured whatever the music is giving me, I'm going to try to give it back with integrity and work hard in that. So I call myself a multi-genre kind of artist, but mostly it's urban music with Caribbean influences all the time. So that's kind of a little bit about me as a musician, but obviously the story is long. It's like a movie. So that's just a synopsis.
And we look out for the movie one day.
Of course. That'd be lovely.
So in terms of, your Jamaican, parentage, should I say, what's the influence like though?
I tell people that, and I grew up with a lot of American friends in my neighborhood, and certainly we were in an area where there was a lot of different cultures, people from Poland, people from Haiti, people from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican, whatever. And I like to tell people that when I reach my doorstep, it's Jamaica that you're entering in. So parents have to pull up.
Definitely.
Akian saltfish is being cooked, jerk chicken, Thanksgiving don't look like everybody else Thanksgiving.
Right.
So everything about our culture and everything that my mom instilled in us and that my father instilled in us was really from Jamaican heritage and Jamaican background. And a lot of that I didn't even realize until I got older, and I realized that, me and my friends don't like the same things, or we don't have the same taste of music in every area, or we don't consider certain style, good or tasteful or whatever. Everybody not getting up, washing dishes and listening to reggae music on Saturday morning and Barris Hammond playing, and so I grew up in that environment where music was a huge part of just the family environment, and and just the joy and energy. Even on a Saturday morning, I can remember distinctly, just, you know, cleaning, get up in the morning, can't do nothing, can't leave the house until clean. Grew up playing football. You know, was a center forward for many years, and in high school and varsity, and then moved to defense. And when I moved to defense, I didn't like it no more. So then I moved up. I said, I want the ball on my foot, man. But
score some goals.
Yeah, for real. So that was sort of my heritage in general there. And my father comes from more of a Rastafarian background, so that's where music like the Abyssinians and Morgan Heritage and Dennis Brown and the Wailers and you know, you name it, Sizzla and Fireman, Capleton and all of them. That's why I learned how to sing and listening to them, not the true traditional R&B, where majority of kids growing up in America, but being first generation born in the country, there was a huge part of Jamaican culture was my culture, and to be embraced in Jamaica at all, even marginally, is amazing. It's an honor and extremely humbling. So that's just more the general side for sure.
Right. Looking more at what you do know in terms of your music.
Yeah.
You know, how is that been going?
It's been going well. Like I said, I'm not the traditional artist, so you know they try to put you in a bucket, put you in a pocket, and I don't fit in no pocket, and I can't, and I can fill every bucket. So, gratefully, I've been okay with that. And what ministry has provided was a way for me to do what I love and serve people at the same time.
Right.
And it was a roundabout way that I believe God did it. I would have picked fame and stardom and all of that, you know, especially in my 20s. But God found a way to allow me to do what I really, really love, was connecting with people on the platform of music. If you know anything about the scriptures, it speaks about, you know, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. God created us in his image, and he endowed us with certain gifts, and he gave those gifts without any agenda. He just wanted his children to have good things. And in the book of Ephesians, it talks about how some have been given apostles, prophets, evangelists, shepherds, and teachers. And I believe those spiritual gifts are actually the spiritual gifts are exercised on the platform of your natural gift. So if you're an accountant, or if you're a janitor, or if you just know how to do administration, or if you're a TV personality like yourself, or if you have a YouTube channel, those are just the physical stage that God can show off with you through, you know what I mean, through the spiritual gift. So I discovered that pastoral ministry and apostolic ministry, moving around and sharing love to people, was something that was natural to me. And then it happened all throughout my childhood in various ways. But that was really what I've been grateful for, that initial step into. And then now to be able to do this more on a serious, more full-time, more energy towards it has been, you know how it is, man. Like, you get to do what you love. Right. It's amazing.
It is. So you have your own church, or
I'm on staff.
Ministries?
I'm on staff at a church, a large church in Cleveland, Ohio, called Grace CMA Church, and part of a denomination with, 2,000 churches in the U.S. and 20,000 global, and go to places where people don't know about God and never heard his name. So I'm proud to be a part of that, and that's really provided what I would call a Sabbath rest of a lifestyle for my family to heal while I'm able to pursue the things that I love, and not do them out of survival, but do them from a place of healing, if that makes sense.
Right. Yes, definitely. So I'd imagine your family is supportive of you 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
How does the family kind of interact with your ministry and your music and all of that? Because I'm sure you do performances as well and all of these.
Yeah, my family supports 100%. It's certainly challenging at times. I'm a married man, I'm a man who believes in family and believes in the strength of the black family and the reinstitution of the value of family today. Right. So because I believe in those things, I have to compromise and lower some of my desires at times to balance in family, and it's working well. My wife is a beast in her own right and what she does, and she's a designer in fashion, and she was just here in Jamaica, and we, ripping and running, and also did the vacation thing as well. but I have 3 children, and they're my biggest fans, I would say. And if they like the music, I'm cool with that.
That is it.
Yeah.
Definitely. You talk about, you know, your children liking the music, but what kind of reaction you get sometimes from the wider audience?
I think the general commercial music industry public might say, well, what are you? Are you a rapper? Or are you a reggae artist? Or are you a whatever that is? Thank God for the transformation of the music industry in the single market, where, you know, you can release a song like I did, Death Around the Corner, and doors open up in Jamaica all of a sudden.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just saying, no, here's my plan. Every 6 to 8 weeks, I'm gonna release some records. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna do the media, we're gonna do the social media, we're gonna do the YouTube, and I've seen more than 200% growth on my page in the past year, and people have been receptive from a lot of foreign countries, you know, Nigeria and the UK and Australia and people from just around the world, Haiti and now Jamaica, and I'm excited to take that more seriously and continue to cast my net on the other side of the boat.
Definitely. So what are your plans though? What does the future look like for you in terms of your music, your ministry?
Yeah. The hope is just sustainability, you know, continue to first off go where the open doors that God has provided, you know, because Scripture say the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few.
Yeah.
So ask the Lord of the harvest to send workers. And I believe he sent me in this time, for such a time as this, to provide a type of music and style that's going to cut through, not necessarily the airwaves, but the souls, to the spirit, to uplift people, to encourage them in a time where, as you can see, right now you got the strike going on in Jamaica, live in the flesh. People are hopeless, man. And they're looking at government authorities and leaders of the world, free world, closed world, undeveloped world, to give them something that, in fact, is almost impossible for them to get from these structures and systems, because we're humans.
Right.
And everything we do is tainted, and everything we do has subject to corruption, right?
Right.
But one thing that can't be corrupted is the soul of a person that's pursuing God. And the hope is that what I'm offering and what I'm saying and my actions give people an opportunity to see that there's a greater hope, that there's a greater calling, that there's a greater purpose in their life, no matter where they are in life, no matter where they are. And so really this is about purpose music. And so I'll be continuing to release music every 6 to 8 weeks. Right now, have a song, Death Around the Corner. It's called DATC. That's what we call it for short. Okay. But the chorus is simply this. I see death around the corner, yeah. I pray what I don't see. Prophesying for them to be free. Heal their mind and make them stronger, so that they believe. Never let them perish in defeat. So that's the gist of it. You know, we don't want them to perish in defeat, because right now we're looking and feeling defeated. But that don't have to be the end of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. And I agree with you 100%. And I think, you know, people really need some uplifting music, some encouragement in these times. However,
go on.
It's an age-old thing. We always hear it.
Yeah.
Positive music don't get the attention.
Yeah, man. That's true.
It deserves.
See.
And people generally they gravitate towards the
their trained mind,
the outrageous, the violent.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you think you know you can reach those people, those individuals.
I believe I always come back to Scripture, because it's the lamp to my feet and the light to my path. And the path that is lightened for me is that one man plant, the next man waters, but it's God who give the increase.
Right.
So if I concern myself with increase, that's when I compromise, because that's when I look to do things that shape shift me out of who I am as a person. And realistically speaking, the one thing I can do well that nobody can do is be myself.
That is it.
So
definitely,
if I continue to be myself, I believe that there is a groups, nations, cultures, peoples that are desiring this. And for goodness sake, there's 6 billion people in the world. Yeah. Whoever is for me, that's going to enjoy what I'm bringing to the table, and that's going to have life and get life for what I'm delivering, I'm satisfied with that. And whatever God chooses to do with that, I'm cool. Because like I said, most of us create. We create and we consume off of survival or off of what the trained mind.
Right.
And of course, what I'm doing is countercultural and goes against what the trained mind, the trained flesh has been trained to do. So it's a journey. And I'm telling people, listen, walk with me and see what it can do for you.
Definitely. And for viewers watching, just remind them where they can find on the socials.
Yes.
Because that's important.
Of course. Yeah. We use the tools and we love the tools, and I'm on all the tools. So you can catch me on Instagram. That's at JelaniAswad, JelaniAswad. Again, Instagram, JelaniAswad. Also, that's my handle on every platform. So Facebook, JelaniAswad Music. That's on TikTok. We're still running around on TikTok doing things here and there.
Set up on TikTok.
Yeah, man, on TikTok. And me and millions of other Christians too on there too. Yeah. So you can find us on there, and then the YouTube channel, as we've seen, great growth there. We'd love to connect and would love to really have a conversation with people ongoing.
Right.
Build a community and a family through this.
Definitely.
Not just what we call fans and followers, because I don't think I'm offering anything that's more spectacular. I think I'm offering something that's true, and I will always give you the best quality that I can possibly give you. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And of course, we see the guitar on this. Yeah. You have to touch piece side for the viewers don't want it.
All right.
Been up something.
Been up something. See him. All right. How much possessions can one man's soul reap? Vanity, vanity, yeah. Out of dust you came and dust you be. Vanity, vanity, yeah. How much possession can one? How much possession can one? Vanity, vanity, yeah. Out of dust you came and dust you be. I have seen all the works Jah has done under the sun, but profit the man who works until he comes to the point where he has no breath left up in his lungs. To sleep beneath the earth will also come. Vanity, Ecclesiastes say. The preacher preached full of wisdom in his head. Read the words of what King Jesus said. Don't build your life upon a golden bed. I said again. Yeah.
Yes, man. Respect, man. Yeah. Cool. That was good. And you say you basically you're self-taught?
Yes, sir. At the tender age of 24 years old, I learned how to play. Yeah. Well, my main interest was very practical. I'm pragmatic when it comes to leadership.
Right.
If you don't have the proper tools to lead up where you want to go, you can't do it. So if I want to be a band director and, lead with musicians and so much, I realized, dang, when I had my opportunity in 5th, 6th grade and I walked out the classroom crying because it was too hard, I didn't miss the opportunity. It's never too late to pursue, especially if it's in God's will for your design and for your life, right? So I was pursuing music and felt like playing in a live band was my niche. And I really but I couldn't communicate with the musicians at all. So I'm here writing all this music and can't even tell them a G from an A, and I'm just making sounds with my mouth, you know what I mean? And if they're good enough, they catch on. But what happened when it's time to bring it to the next level? So I had a guy that was working with me on a single deal at the time, and he had a little guitar that was, out of tune and not good, but I said, let me learn how to tune this. And then we went from there. And then every time I needed it, he was like, "Oh, I need a guitar for something." So truthfully, man, I pray a prayer. No lie. At the time I was not working. I was just pursuing music hard.
Right.
In and out of the city. I said, God, if you really want me to play this instrument, this is a true story. I need a guitar and I need money to buy one. So I end up getting a check from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, of a back tax, whatever.
That you probably never ever know nothing about.
I said, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went and took that. First thing I did with that $200, I ready to go buy a phone. First thing I did, I said, yo, time to get the phone now. I'm lit.
Yeah.
Get this phone, we good. Like, we out. So as soon as I went to go call up a friend to go take me to Teino or whatever, get a phone, whoever it was, it might have been for, I don't know. And it's like the Lord quickened my spirit right there. Remember what you prayed for?
Right.
I said, wow. So I run to a local music store. Who knows if it's even open anymore in the town that I lived in. Went and bought myself a starter Yamaha guitar.
Yeah.
Came with a DVD with backing tracks you could just play along in each chord. Came with some picks, set of strings, and a little thing so you can learn how to tune it. And for probably about a year, I played almost 6 to 7 hours a day.
But that's a good start.
That was a start.
Yeah.
And then from there, a year later, I was on stage, on a platform leading worship. And the beautiful thing is I couldn't even sing and play at the same time. I was like, oh, that's a whole other skill. Just singing, you know what I mean? And then what ended up happening was I was able to play reggae. So I started learning Bob tunes, You know what I mean? I started learning those tunes and start singing, and I had the rhythm in me because reggae was in my bones, you know what I mean? So from there, just built and developed on that, and every time I met a musician, I picked up along the way and started writing songs on there, and now I've been playing for, a little bit over a decade now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'd imagine that has even helped to enhance the whole performance and versatility that you bring to the stage. Yeah.
And that's really where I really cut my teeth, performance.
Yeah.
That's really my sweet spot. So when I can play guitar for a minute and, do some spoken word and break into song and direct a band and just be free up there to communicate in the language I know best, this helps me to build and set that environment where people can have an encounter with God, not me, because I'm just a conduit. You know what I mean? Conduit. So that's what I love doing the most, performing and playing. And this has really helped me to even value the people that contribute to the music the most, which are often forgot, which is musicians. People play the backing. So, yeah.
Definitely. Boy, what a story. And I mean, what a way to end.
Yeah.
I mean, just inspiring, man. Just inspiring.
Thank you, man.
So, trust me, Master Aswad, it was definitely great chatting with you.
Yes.
And we look forward to more of the works, good works, positive.
Yeah.
Because the world needs it.
We need it, yeah.
And we all have our little part to play.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Any final words of encouragement to viewers? Anything you want to say to them before we close?
Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity, first and foremost. I want to thank the team that's been working with me here in Jamaica and Zaza Communications and Dida back home, and my uncle for running me around town and thing, and my family for supporting me, but most of all for the people watching, because again, you have the power of the increase. You have the power in your hands to spread out messages that are going to take people out of the slum and the mental slavery that they're trapped in today. We was at the school earlier, Waterford High School, and we talked about what kind of slavery is today. And a lot of them could only revert to the slavery of the past.
Right.
But the slavery of today is a lot what, like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. And so we have an opportunity to seize, carpe diem, to seize the day.
Yeah.
And spread knowledge and messages of hope, right? And that's how I believe change can come today, right now, and in the future. So
Definitely.
that's what I would leave them with.
Definitely. Peeps, a word to the wise is sufficient. All right. So again, my brother.
Yes.
Respect.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoy stay in Jamaica. And yeah, man, just continue to do the positive. And keep up the great work.
Yes, boss.
All right?
Appreciate it.
Definitely. So peeps, there we have it. Another exciting episode of Next Friday. Now be sure to go and subscribe, share, like, click the notification bell. Do the thing because you don't want to miss a beat. And remember, next Friday, every Friday, we out.